Hello, and welcome to We Live for Saturday, your favorite college football podcast. I'm your co-host, Mike, and with me, as usual, is your other co-host, John. John, how are you doing out on the road?
It's fine. It's exhausting. I don't bounce back the same way I used to. So it's just, mornings are a little bit more difficult. But we get it going, man. It's just name of the game.
Morning's difficult for you, but you're the morning guy.
I don't have a problem waking up. It's just like getting moving is like
Yeah.
is what's hard. I'm up, I'm awake, really early as per usual. But like, man, dude, like the days are just tougher to get through when it comes to this job. But it'll be fine. It's also just taken a little bit to get used to it. But after 2-3 weeks here, I should probably be in the groove. But yeah, man. Other than that, things are all right. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska right now. Beautiful Omaha.
Omaha,
And
somewhere in middle America.
somewhere in middle America, exactly.
Love it.
Exactly.
Well, as long as we're going with Midwest references only, happy 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The gales in November came early, man. It really did.
Pour one out for Gordon Lightfoot.
Hell yeah.
I didn't know, but apparently the proceeds from that song he gave to the victims' families.
I think I heard that years ago. Yeah.
What a good dude.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I think I saw a recent interview with him where they were asking him about.
Well, it can't be that recent. He's dead.
Well, okay, sorry.
More recent.
I recently saw an interview of him. That's what I meant to say. But he was talking about like where that someone asked him like where that song came from and whatnot, and obviously there's a ton of shipwrecks on the Great Lakes, and he was supposedly, I guess, like at that point in time, like heard about it, and just knew about the fact that there were a lot of shipwrecks, and many of them were reported, but nothing was ever really made about it. And I guess he just had a soft spot in his heart, and this was pretty early in his career, I think, and he decided, he was like, I'm gonna talk about these guys, and I know a lot of it's speculation because they didn't know at the time for a while about like how it all went down, and they just knew that the ship disappeared, and never heard from again. So, so it was kind of interesting, that he kind of took that upon himself to tell the story for the families and whatnot. Even though there was speculation, it was just like I think everybody was very happy with it, obviously, and felt like it was a worthy tribute. So, which it is. I mean, it's a beautiful song. So.
Absolutely.
So that's our Edmund Fitzgerald segment of the podcast this morning.
Yep. It is the 50th anniversary. Now, when we get to the 75th anniversary, we're really going to go all out. We're going to do a whole theme episode.
Yep.
From Lake Superior.
We'll do it on an ore ship, like, as we're maybe, have it.
I'm not going on that lake. Are you kidding me? That lake is cursed. I will swim in the shallows of that lake, but go out away from shore where you can't see anything. No thanks. Hard pass. I'm a lake person, not an ocean person.
Yeah.
I like to be able to see the land.
Yeah.
It's comforting to me.
I'm with you. I grew up the same way. I get it.
Yeah.
I think I have gone out on a ship. Like I took when I was a kid, took one of like those ferries out to Isle Royale. Like way out there, so like you can't see the land at some point, but it's it is, man, it's intimidating. She's a big lake, but and she's unforgiving, but other than that, should we get to some Big Ten news a little bit here?
We could, unless you want to make it the Gordon Lightfoot hour. No, let's get to Big Ten news. So we've got a big pending agreement to talk about.
We do, yeah. I think it's $2.4 billion, I think is what it is, for this investment deal with the Big Ten. And apparently everybody's on board except for Michigan and USC.
Yeah.
I guess they think that they can hold out for more money, or they deserve more money. I mean, we're not going to get into like the crazy details about this.
I mean, they called it out. They're the ones I think who are in the right here, to be honest with you. The Michigan trustee called it a payday loan, which is what it is. You get a bunch of money up front, and then you have to pay that off with interest in the form of the value of your media rights down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the Big Ten giving away? I don't know. It just seems crazy to me for the Big Ten to give up their media rights to that extent. Like, I don't to give up 10% of future earnings to this shadowy private capital group that's going to give you a bunch of money up front, but then you're going to have to pay it back with interest.
Well, and like we've talked about many times about our thoughts and feelings about private equity in general. When it's it ruins everything it touches.
Destroys everything it touches.
And I understand, like, there's a lot of this minutia between whether it's private equity or private, what's the
capital. That's capital. The nomenclature they're using is private capital now.
Yeah, and
it's all the same kind of thing.
To me, more or less, it is, and I just think getting in bed with companies like that in that way, even if it doesn't immediately negatively impact you, I feel like it's just opening the door for it to hurt you down the line in the long run.
And a member of Congress wrote a letter like on October 25th. I forget what her name was, but she wrote a letter that was like, "Hey, Big Ten, you're jeopardizing your nonprofit status."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this seems crazy to me, man. Mm-hmm. Crazy. What are we doing? I don't like it at all. I don't like that Minnesota's on board. I think good for Michigan and USC for being the adults in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe we have to call USC the adult in the room.
I know.
Like, that's so rarely the case from that athletic department.
I just think it's interesting. I mean,
Michigan too. Cheaters. I mean, are we kidding? Like, those are the people who are the smart ones now? Come on. Rest of the Big Ten. Do better.
I mean, we can talk about decision makings within the University of Minnesota in respect to decision.
You want my blood pressure to rise this early? Like right now in the morning?
All I got to do is mention the Board of Regents, and you're just gonna
already angry. Already angry. It's 10:17 a.m. I'm angry.
Long story short, the Minnesota Board of Regents has been the reason Gopher Sports has ever struggled for anything ever, and they've been terrible for decades. They were the downfall of Gopher football back in the 60s. So they're responsible. But I guess there's also other speculation. There's a lot of moronic national media types that, like, of course, I'd say 95% of them at this point are all bought and owned by Greg Sankey and the ICC and the Four-Letter Network. And they're all immediately speculating on, like, oh, where's Michigan and USC going to go if they don't get on board?
They're not going anywhere. Michigan and USC aren't leaving the Big Ten. Grow up.
It's these idiots are like, oh, they're going right to the SEC. Like, yeah, like, and it's
That's what Michigan wants to do is have to travel to the southeastern footprint for every game.
No, I mean, like, and it's fun. I pay attention to Greg Flugar, and I trust a lot of what he reports and what he says. And
friend of the pod, Greg Flugar.
Friend of the pod, Greg Flugar, absolutely. And he said it too. He's on a rampage on Twitter, calling out these national media types and a lot of these reports surrounding this particular subject. And he just thinks it's absolutely ridiculous that there's all this this conjecture about, like, Michigan and USC going to the SEC. And he pointed out, he goes, Michigan wouldn't even vote in Tennessee if they were to apply for the Big Ten right now. Like, there's nobody. It's not. Look, and we get made fun of. The Big Ten gets made fun of for having an elitist attitude.
We're elitist. It's elitist for a reason.
But, like, Michigan is the elitist attitude within the conference. So, do not think that Michigan or its board or their alumni or anyone over there would be like, oh yeah, let's just join the SEC. Like, that is such, in their minds, that is such a step down. And I don't think that it's going to happen. They'd rather go independent. That's what
I describe the Michigan backers as a very wine and cheese kind of crowd.
Yeah.
Which isn't, like, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying it is what it is. And they are going to look down their snotty little noses at you.
Mm-hmm.
They just are. It's like Northwestern, only Michigan has the football success on top of it. It's not just in life.
Yeah.
But they will look down at you aggressively.
Yeah. And the point is they look down on the academics and the cultural aspects
Of the
the
SEC. Yes.
They just do. That's the reality.
Yes.
And they always will. They always have and they always will. So I
Yeah.
don't think any chance. There's not a chance in hell that Michigan or USC are going to be joining the SEC at any point in time. Something's going to happen. This is just part of the game now. And we'll see what happens. But figured we'd have to touch on it a little bit, see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's fair.
Cool. We getting the games?
Yeah, let's get into them. Did you get to watch a lot of ball this weekend, or were you working too much?
I was working too much, man. On it, to be, full disclosure, I really have only watched highlights and read through some things and checked, stats and whatnot.
We've watched everything. No, go ahead. I actually did watch them all.
You did.
I actually did watch all the games.
Yeah, I just my job here. I mean, it'll be easier starting this next week, but like these last 2 weeks, man. I mean, I'm just freaking swamped. I don't see anything ever. So, but next week it should be a lot better. So I should be able to watch some football.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it then.
Let's do it.
The number 19, 7-2 USC Trojans 38. The 5-4 Northwestern Wildcats 17. This was a good game up until half. It was a good game. It was 21-14 at half. Northwestern was in the game. They had some stuff going. Komalafe had a really nice day. 118 yards, almost 7 yards per rush, 1 TD. They had him going. He's a really nice back. He's a nice power back. He's fun. He's fun to watch. And he sees holes pretty well and all that kind of stuff. Preston Stone is Preston Stone. He can't do that much.
Mm-hmm.
And so once USC adjusted and was able to were able to limit, at least, maybe not take it away fully, but limit the success Northwestern could have on the ground, it just kind of wasn't the kind of game where they were going to be able to keep up.
Yeah.
And Jaden Mayava bounced back from that terrible game he had last week. 24 for 33, 299 yards, 9.1 yards per attempt, 2 TDs and a pick for a QBR of 93.0. So really good. King Miller, another great day running the ball. 127 yards on just 15 carries. Hello. For 8.5 yards per attempt with a long of 55 and a touchdown. And Makai Lemon, man. Makai Lemon. 11 catches. 161 yards. A TD along a 52. I mean, so he had that 52-yard catch, and then he also had a 100-yard receiving day on top of that 52-yard catch.
It's impressive, man.
Yeah, sure. He's special.
Yeah.
He's special. And Northwestern just didn't have an answer for that. They couldn't, they kept USC. I mean, they never really kept USC in check. They kept in the game for a while, and eventually USC was just too much. I thought it was going to be a little closer. I had said it was going to be 35-24 USC, but USC obviously managed another score, and Northwestern didn't score quite as much as I thought they were going to.
Yeah, it was I thought it was an interesting game from what I was able to gather. And I got, I'll start with Northwestern. That, Caleb Komalafe is the real deal, dude. He really is.
He is.
He's, like you already touched on. I mean, he's got great vision. He's hard to bring down. He's quick. He's shifty. He is the full package. He's there. Northwestern really I wasn't expecting to see that come out this year.
No.
And so he's a real weapon on that.
No, when they lost Cam Porter, I thought they were done.
Yeah. Yep.
But Komalafe is definitely, he's a step up for sure.
Yeah, I think he's even better for sure. So,
yeah,
that's, Northwestern found an identity. They run the ball and they run the ball well. So I'm, happy for them that they were able to do that. Yeah, Preston Stone, unfortunately, as you predicted in the preseason, wasn't going to be that great. And
no.
He's serviceable at times, but he's not fantastic. 20
for 30 isn't bad, but 150 yards on 5 yards per attempt isn't good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's
not very
it's just really short stuff and hoping his playmakers can do stuff in space.
Exactly. Yeah. But USC, man, yeah, I mean, they really did come back in a big way. And Jaden Mayava, obviously, he's got incredible receivers to throw to. Makai Lemon, of course, is just he's just an absolute monster.
He really
But I
is.
also like Mayava, the fact that he's such a unit too. Like he's always such a threat with his legs, and he was able to make some really good plays with his legs as well. And he's tough. He's willing to lower the shoulder and pile his way in, which he did.
Oh yeah.
So that was really, it's good to see that you have a quarterback who's willing to do that. And then King Miller, man, like he's like a one cut and gone dude. Like, and if you let him get free, he's just terrifying. So
Isn't it
yeah,
wild that he's only their third best running back?
and who would have thought? Who would have thought? That they were able to have some good running backs on this team and be successful on the ground. So again, Lincoln Riley seems to have adjusted. I know he still can make some boneheaded decisions here and there, but it seems like he's finally letting his run game go and do what he knows it can do. And look at what happens. So yeah, dude, I think it was a tough. I think it was I think Northwestern fought hard. I think they played.
They did.
USC tough,
They played hard.
and so all credit to them for that. But USC's offense is it's so much, man. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, and that D line is pretty good too.
Yep.
I thought Jakeem Stewart had a sack, and
Mm.
he's really coming along as a freshman. And USC had 5 passes defended. They were Northwestern. Was not able to get open. Really downfield. They held, Griffin Wilde, they held to 23 yards receiving. Did have a touchdown, but only 23 yards receiving. So, Caleb Komalafe was their leading receiver. Yeah. So,
says a lot.
Northwestern doesn't have guys that can get open, and USC has guys that can cover.
Mm-hmm.
And you add that into the fact that Preston Stone isn't much of a thrower of the football, and it just kind of is what it is, you know. But Northwestern at 5-4, I still think they have a chance to make a bowl game. But it's going to be hard.
Yep.
Because they have Michigan, they have Minnesota, and they have at Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And the Michigan and Minnesota games, those aren't home games. Those are neutral site games at Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
Where the other team is probably going to have more fans than you do.
Which I never understand that. I don't get it. Like, why do you do that to yourself? I don't know, man.
Ticket revenue, man. That's it.
Yeah.
They're valuing ticket revenue over wins.
Yeah.
Is what Northwestern is doing when they make those decisions like that. I mean, at least they're going to have their own field going forward starting next year.
Yeah.
So we won't see them make decisions like this anymore. But they've made these decisions over the years because they value ticket revenue over winning, which ironically makes your ticket revenue terrible because no one goes to your games when you're not winning.
Yep.
And no one goes to Northwestern's games even when they are winning.
Yeah.
Because it's just not that kind of school. It's not a school where anybody cares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I expect Northwestern to be a tough out moving forward.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I don't think they're going to make a bowl, but they will be a threat to win each of those 3 games.
Yeah, agreed. And USC, I think, is just going to keep on rolling pretty well here. I mean,
I think if USC can get by Iowa, they're going to make the college football playoff.
Yeah, that's going to be another good game, man. I think it could be a really good game.
That's going to be a great game, especially because Iowa's not quite as good on the road as they are at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that was in Iowa City, I'd be picking Iowa to win for sure.
Yeah.
But in Los Angeles, I don't know. I feel like I feel like USC's got a really good shot to win that game.
Yep.
But that is the preview episode. That'll be tomorrow. This is the review episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to go there yet.
Yes.
All right. Next up, we had the number 1 team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes 34, the Purdue Boilermakers 10. This wasn't much of a game.
No.
I mean, the first quarter, Purdue won the first quarter 3-0. Good for them. Ohio State won the second quarter 24-0, and the game was over. And Ryan Day let off the gas. He didn't score at all in the third quarter before putting up 10 points in the fourth. I think it's interesting, John, that Ryan Day, we saw this last year, has decided not to go scorched earth on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
he's very much thinking about the long season and managing workloads and like slowing games up, running fewer plays, getting guys, fewer hits and having guys not have to expend quite as much energy game to game. And he's really, really thinking about the long term with this team, because if Ohio State wanted to, they could have scored 60 points.
Absolutely. Yeah. They just become, all of a sudden their offense becomes very vanilla, and it's like they're just running reps at practice.
It's like it's a little Michigan-y.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when Michigan's really good, that's what they do. They just kind of squeeze teams to death. They don't like, they aren't like, we're going to score a bajillion points. We're just going to make your life totally miserable. And we're going to score somewhere between 30 and 40 points. And you're going to look up at the end of the game and be like, oh, we didn't score any points.
Yep. I mean, that defense is suffocating, man. They can do that.
Yeah,
they're to control the tempo the entire game, and it's just then honestly, man, I mean, the offense is fantastic, of course, like it's always
but the defense is, I mean, they had no sacks and 3 tackles for loss only, and yet Purdue still only managed 10 points. So it wasn't like it was a vintage day from the Ohio State, from the Ohio State defense. They didn't have quite as much, and here's the thing, I'll give credit to Purdue. Ryan Brown is a tough guy to sack.
Yeah, he is.
He's tough. But he was 10 of 20 for 76 yards. 76 yards. Ohio State had 473 yards to just 186 for Purdue. So Purdue did not hit 100 yards rushing or passing. Neither. Because that's what this Buckeye defense does all the time. And then sometimes I just want to talk about the defense. But, dude, Julian Sayin.
Yeah.
27 for 33, 303 yards, over 9 yards per attempt, 1 TD, and 1 pick. QBR of 87.5. You will take that. His completion percentage continues to just be outrageous. I mean, he's completing for the season. He's completing 80% of his passes.
Yeah.
80. That's bananas.
And that 1 pick was just kind of weird. Like he just was like, I don't know if it was just like a brain fart or whatever. He just made like a rare stupid decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. He's impressive, man. He really is. He's so efficient.
It's like he's playing a video game.
Yeah. Yep.
And that throwing motion is so pure. And just every time it's like, you're like, it's on the money. It's going to be on the money. It's going to be perfect, Well,
I mean, it helps when you also have, obviously, receivers like Jeremiah Smith, who makes like ridiculous, stupid catches that just, again, it's like watching a video game when a ball gets tipped, but you know that your guy's just going to somehow find a way to
the tipped ball catch, ridiculous. Yeah, that was crazy.
Absurd.
But in this one, Jeremiah Smith, 10 catches, 137 yards, and a TD. I mean, here's the thing. Julian Sayin's probably the one who wins the Heisman, but Jeremiah Smith is probably the guy who should win the Heisman. Because because his existence changes the way. I mean, I remember looking back at the Minnesota game, and there was one play where we had 4 players trigger towards Jeremiah Smith. So even when he doesn't get the ball, he's got everybody converging on him, trying to stop him from getting the ball. And yet he still puts up, days like he did yesterday.
Yeah.
And Max Clare, in the absence of Carnell Tate, Max Clare had a nice game, 5 for 59. So that was good to see. And yeah, man, the Buckeyes just kind of roll on.
The only thing I want to see, again, I think we talked about this before when it comes to Ohio State, is I want to see that running game becoming more of a priority. I'm not saying it's not good or that they still put up some good numbers. Obviously, they spread it around because they could, but I don't know. I want to come away from a game being like, wow, like that Ohio State Buckeye rushing attack like just dominated that whole time. Like,
no, it's true. I mean, Bo Jackson went 14 for 75, which is 5.4 yards a carry, which is decent. Isaiah West actually had the better day with 9 carries for 60 yards, 6.7 yards per carry. But yeah, they just need to be more consistent at running back and in the run blocking. But We're nitpicking here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ohio State is still the best team in the country as of now. And when we talk about them running the ball a little better, we're talking about what they need probably for the playoff, not what they need to win in the regular season or to win a Big Ten title.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think they're necessarily going to have to run the ball that well to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps if you do. Makes it easier.
Sure does.
And Ryan Day seems committed, unlike some coaches we see sometimes. Ryan Day seems committed to running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not going to stop doing it. You know? They had 43 carries versus 33 pass attempts. You know, so they're still running the ball over half the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to keep working on the run game to do it that much so that you can keep improving. So yeah, Ohio State and then Purdue. I mean, Purdue's been competitive in a lot of games. They weren't that competitive in this game. They played well in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But Ohio State's Ohio State.
Exactly.
I don't hold this against Purdue at all. It just, what sucks for Purdue is that their remaining games are at an angry Washington team and then home against Indiana, the number 2 team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be, it'll be tough for Purdue to win another game, but I do think they're headed in the right direction.
Yeah. No, I think so too. They're well coached for sure.
Yeah, Barry Odom is a good coach. I mean, he has them. Nobody clutches and grabs and holds like Purdue does and gets away with it. Nobody. I told Phil, friend of the pod, Phil, that before the game, and he texted me in the second quarter and was like, "You're right, man. They hold all the time." And I was like, "Yeah, man, all of the time, all the time."
Mm-hmm.
It's like kind of ridiculous, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Going on to what was, well, there were 2 truly great games on Saturday in the Big Ten. And one of them was the number 2, now 10-0 Indiana Hoosiers, 27. The 3-6 Penn State Nittany Lions, 24. And John, Penn State they gave Indiana everything they could handle. They outgained them slightly. They played tough. They were able to run the ball. But more importantly, Ethan Grunkemeyer, man, was able to throw the ball in a meaningful way.
Mm-hmm.
22 of 31, 219 yards, over 7 yards an attempt, 1 TD, 1 pick. Not amazing, but compared to what they had been getting from the quarterback position, it was impressive. Nicholas Singleton had a nice day. Kaytron Allen did not, which is strange because Kaytron Allen's been the better of the 2 this year.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, he couldn't get it going.
Singleton looked more healthy than he's looked all season. So I don't know. Maybe
he did. He did look healthy.
Getting back to form.
The speed was back.
Yep.
Because he's so dependent on that. I mean, all running backs are.
Yeah.
But he's so dependent on being able to get to full speed. That's an important part of most football players' games, but especially at a position like running back, being able to get to full speed is really important. Trevor Pena, 6 catches, 99 yards. So he had a nice day for Penn State. And, I thought Penn State played hard on defense as well. They made some nice plays. They had 3 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, 4 passes defended. So they were right there, man. They were right there. And when Penn State got the ball back with the lead, with like 5 minutes left or whatever, I'm like, the Nittany Lions are going to win this football game.
Mm-hmm.
But they needed one more first down. Because they punted it to Indiana with 2 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
And Indiana did Indiana things like the Disney movie come football program that they are. And they drove right down the field. And Omar Cooper had the catch of the year.
Yeah.
On that touchdown. I mean, it was very Tyler Johnson against Auburn-esque.
Yeah.
Back of the end zone, reaches out, brings the ball in, reaches his foot back, taps a toe inexplicably, and when it looked like he was clearly out of bounds. And that's all she wrote. That's a touchdown, and Indiana wins.
Mm-hmm.
But Penn State was close, man. They were close. And they played well, but this Hoosier team, there's no quitting them.
No, man, there isn't. And, and that's just, we talked about it, and you said too, and when you were just kind of giving me some updates, I was just looking at the score and I was at work and, and you were like, well, Indiana's getting it back. And of course, Signetti's going to find a way to run down the field and score.
I did tweet that out before it happened. I said,
Yeah,
you just know Signetti's going to find a way to win this game.
Yep.
And he did.
Yeah.
Because he's got the magic pixie dust.
And look, it is interesting. I mean, like, look, Mendoza is amazing, but it was interesting to see that he only went 19 for 30 with 218 yards, which isn't like bad, but like that's not a normal game for him.
No, he normally is more efficient than that. Yeah,
and I know Surratt wasn't there, but dude, Charlie Becker, like, talk about a fantastic catch.
Where does Cignetti keep finding these receivers? Like, where does he keep finding them? Because you thought with Elijah Surratt out, it was going to have to be all Omar Cooper, and it wasn't. It was Charlie Becker. He was the go-to receiver.
He was amazing. Incredible.
Some random white boy I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And he just took the game over.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy because Penn State was trying to take Omar Cooper away, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie Becker just went crazy in single cover. Kurt Cignetti has a better hit rate recruiting wide receivers than like anybody other than Ohio State and like USC.
Yeah.
And they are recruiting at a much higher level. So for him to have the hit rate he does at wide receiver is pretty bananas.
Yeah, man. I mean, I understand Omar Cooper Jr. had that game-winning touchdown, and it was phenomenal. It was amazing. But like Charlie Becker had like 3 catches that were like highlight reel worthy. Like, it was nuts. So
they were all contested.
Yep.
And he was just winning.
Yep.
Just winning those contested balls.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a close game. It was a very defensive game. I thought Penn State was going to pull it out as well because their defense seemed to be playing just a little bit better. But, like you said, Cignetti does Cignetti things, and Indiana was able to roll down. And Mendoza's a gamer, man. He really is. He's great. He's clutch under pressure. So
he's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it kills me to say this, but he's probably the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, he's unbelievable, and he's going to be probably the number 1 pick in next year's NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State still has 3 winnable games.
Yeah.
At Michigan State, home to Nebraska, at Rutgers. They could theoretically still make a bowl. If they play the way they played against Indiana, against everybody else, they could win those games.
Yeah.
I'm not predicting it, but it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
So Penn State, it depends. What do you want to fight for? Like, do you want to fight to play a little more football and dig deep down the stretch, or not? We're going to find out a lot about where I think we found out something positive about where the team's psyche was at against Indiana. Can they recreate that down the stretch, or was that the last gasp of Penn State for 2025? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting to see. And then Indiana, man, I'm out of superlatives for the Hoosiers. I'm out. I don't know what to say anymore. They are unbelievable. I mean, you had, and their best players were playing well. Mikhail Kamara, D'Angelo Pons, Aiden Fisher doing big things. And when those guys are all balling out and playing defense, and then you put together with this offense that's so electric, they're going to go undefeated, and they're going to play for the Big Ten title.
Yep.
And that's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. This is the worst team in Big Ten history. Actually, I saw Northwestern passed Indiana for worst team in Big Ten history now that Indiana's winning.
Okay.
Northwestern passed them for losses.
Wow.
Yeah.
But still, I mean,
still, Indiana to turn around the way they've turned around, it's just I don't know what to say.
And it's not fair. And it's now, like, again, it's creating like all the fans, every single fan, when they have like a coaching change, is like, oh well, if Indiana can do it, we can all do it. And it's like, no.
Indiana got Kurt Cignetti.
You can't.
And there's not another Kurt Cignetti out there, I don't think.
Well, And we talked about it. We texted about it. Is like I don't even think and this may be a controversial take here, but like I don't think Nick Saban could do what Kurt Cignetti has done at Indiana. I don't
I mean,
think
he
so.
didn't at Michigan State. He
Yeah.
didn't do that. So no, I don't think Nick Saban could do it either. I think the pupil has surpassed the teacher in what he can do.
Yep.
Because they're like, what? How could you say that? It's Nick Saban. Okay. But winning at Alabama is different than winning at Indiana. They're different skills.
So much.
They're different skills.
Yep.
So in Kurt Cignetti, for what he does, for where he's at, nobody's better. And I'm not convinced anybody's ever been better. I mean, this is like, he's like a Bill Snyder when he was at Kansas State, only with more resources. So it's scary. But like just knowing, being able to evaluate talent and hit it on the head every time and find, if there are 20 guys in a room, he can find the best football player among those guys, even if they're all good football players. He can figure out who's going to be the best of them. All right. John is frozen, so I'm not sure what's up there. I imagine he'll be back in a second. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about Indiana. They are truly amazing. Oh, and he's back.
Yeah, hotel Wi-Fi decided to boot me off, and then I had to like go sign back in. So
Yep,
fun stuff.
Yeah, nothing crazy you missed. I was just saying Indiana is amazing, and this is Indiana fans. This might be your new reality, but this also enjoy this year.
Yeah,
because stuff like this, the stars don't always align like this. For some of us, the stars have never aligned like that. Some of us who are jealous and bitter.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, not jealous at all. Not
even. No. Not at all jealous of the fact that Indiana has somehow surpassed all of our progress in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Not bitter at all. Super happy about it.
Yeah.
All right. In the other great game of the day, we had the number 9 Oregon Ducks 18, the 6-3 Iowa Hawkeyes 16. This was an amazing game, start to finish. It was in the elements. The rain was coming down throughout. It looked very tough. It was very tough. It was a who's tougher kind of game. And man, they were both really tough.
Yeah.
Both teams played really well. They attacked. Neither team really threw the ball at all. It was all about the running game. And the difference in the end was that, it was only 2 points, but Oregon had 261 yards rushing to just 101 for Iowa. 7.3 yards per attempt for Oregon, 2.3 for Iowa. And I think, that even with that, it still took a safety for Iowa for this game to end the way it did, or else we would have been going to overtime.
Who would have thought Iowa would lose due to bad special teams play?
They lost 2 fumbles too.
Yeah.
So Iowa was the team that screwed up on special teams. Iowa was the team that was sloppy with the football when they needed to be careful with it in the rain.
It's a rare occasion, people.
And yet, despite all of that, when Iowa scored a touchdown with 1:51 to go in the fourth quarter, you thought they were going to win. But Dante Moore, man. Dante Moore went right down the field. 10 plays. They ran the ball. They passed the ball. At one point, and this was after, remember, Dante Moore had a run earlier where he pulled up. He obviously pulled his hamstring mid-run. That when the guy's running normal and then all of a sudden he's galloping.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, you pulled a hamstring and you can't push off. And he finished the game anyway and led them down. And Atticus Sappington, the Oregon kicker with a name from To Kill a Mockingbird, lined it up and just drilled that kick as time expired. Just drilled it for the win.
Yeah.
So that was it was a hell of a football game. You know, you
No,
got
it
to give
was.
Iowa credit. They were scrappy. They fought hard. They just couldn't get enough offense going against this Oregon defense.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa was. I thought Iowa was going to win this game because this is like the perfect type of weather,
Yep.
perfect type of atmosphere, messy. We're going to drag you in the mud type of
Yep.
game that Kirk Ferentz loves and thrives on. And even
Well, and
when
Oregon was down like 3 or 4 receivers.
yeah,
So
well,
they
and
couldn't really throw the ball like they normally do.
even when Iowa was when Oregon was winning, I still was like, no, Iowa's going to win. This is the exact type of game Iowa always wins.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, just for them, it didn't go that way this time, and due to some key mistakes. So, which is unusual. I wish it happened more often to us, but it never does. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Iowa's going to look back at the end of this year and have had a really good year, but they got to be kicking themselves they didn't make the playoff this year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Caleb Johnson had come back for another year? Can you imagine if they had Caleb Johnson on this team? They'd be undefeated.
Well, that's what I was
They'd
thinking.
be undefeated.
If Caleb Johnson were on the field, I think the outcome of this game would be different. I really do.
Outcome of the whole season.
Yeah.
They would beat Indiana too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So Caleb Johnson, good for him. I'm glad he left when he did.
Yep.
But wow, that's a what if for Iowa fans.
For sure.
That is a what if and a half. And even with that, it took a close loss against Oregon and a close loss against Iowa State to really push them out of playoff contention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I still think they're going to win 10 games, man. I still think they're going to win their last 3 regular season games, go to a bowl game, and, well, I don't know. Kirk Ferentz doesn't do great in bowl games for some reason.
For some weird reason.
But he does great up until then. I still think they're going to go 9-3 is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's very possible. I agree.
Because they've got at USC, Sparty, and at Nebraska. Now, the at USC, that's a tough one. But those other 2 games, I think they win for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I'm seeing the same thing for the most part.
Right on.
We'll talk more about. I'm very interested with that Nebraska game now. Now that unless Raiola comes back, but we'll talk about that more when we get to the.
They might be better off without Raiola.
I mean,
they might be better off without Raiola. I wonder if TJ Lateef continues to. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Yeah.
But if he continues to produce the way he did yesterday, it's going to be hard to bench him.
I have thoughts on it, man, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, next up, we had the ugliest game of the day. Also played in terrible weather conditions and just not impressive all around. We had the Wisconsin Badgers 13, the formerly number 23, now unranked Washington Huskies 10. 13-10. And Washington blocked a punt and scored off the punt. And they still lost 13-10. I mean, look, give credit to the Wisconsin defense, man.
Mm-hmm.
The Wisconsin defense went after them. They held Washington to 251 yards. They hung in there, even though their team only put up 205 yards, including just 48 yards passing for Wisconsin. But they forced a turnover. They forced a fumble. Recovered that. They got an interception. Wisconsin did. So they were able to attack that way. And they just kind of Wisconsin's offense can't do much. So it's all about field position and taking advantage when you get into position.
Mm-hmm.
And Wisconsin wasn't great, but their defense was very, very good. And Washington had some attrition. Jonah Coleman got banged up. Denzel Boston left this game multiple times. The last time they carted him off, I believe.
Yeah.
And so that was no good at all. It was back and forth, field goal, touchdown. And then late in the third quarter, Wisconsin got a field goal. And you thought, okay, Washington's going to get it together and make something happen down the stretch. And instead, their last 3 possessions, Washington missed a field goal. Ouch. That would have pushed this game to overtime. Punted and lost the ball on downs. Turned it over on downs. So when Washington needed it, when they needed Damon Williams to be clutch, when they needed somebody besides Denzel Boston to step up, it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, if they don't block that punt, they lose 13-3.
Yeah.
3 points.
This was such a weird game, dude. I mean, looking at the box score right now, I'm like, it's so bizarre looking at looking at this.
I mean, both teams put together,
yeah,
didn't manage 450 yards of offense put together.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. I mean, 251 for Washington, 205 only for Wisconsin. Wisconsin 205 yards from scrimmage, and they won. And look, I want to give Wisconsin credit. Like, it's a good victory. Any victory is a good victory with the season you're having. But everyone's like, oh, Wisconsin's figured it out. I'm like, Wisconsin was scoring 12.5 points in Big Ten play on average. They scored 13. So they didn't figure it out. Yeah. They've been a good defense, and they were able to shut Washington down. But, like, if you score on Wisconsin at all, 16 or more points, you're going to win. You're going to win.
Well, I mean, they played 3 quarterbacks, and their leading passer
managed 48 yards passing.
And their leading passer was their punter. So
which is such an Iowa stat.
So it's just,
Iowa's mad that Wisconsin managed that stat.
Yeah, I mean, like their leading passer as an actual quarterback was Hunter Simmons, and he had 16 yards. So like, it's again, I know everybody.
You didn't like Carter Smith 3 for 12 for 8 yards. That didn't say, he doesn't look like the quarterback of the future to you?
No, I mean, I don't know. Danny O'Neal 0 for 2, 0 yards, nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's
Danny O'Neal got the start, and then right away Luke Fickell. I don't know what he did, but Luke Fickell doesn't like him.
Clearly not.
Because Hunter Simmons is so bad.
Yeah.
And Carter Smith is not ready.
Yeah.
And yet Danny O'Neal is still so far in the doghouse that he can't get time on the field. It's weird. It's wild.
It was Wisconsin's defense, and that obviously we can rip apart Wisconsin's offense or lack thereof. It's atrocious. Their offense is really bad.
But the defense was really good.
It is. It's stepped up. Their D line is fantastic. Their young linebackers were really the standouts of that game.
Yep.
So I think that that's just the only way Wisconsin's going to be able to win these games. It's going to have to be, a defensive battle and, hopefully get turnovers and maybe a pick six or fumble, strip sack, something like that. Like that's the way Wisconsin's going to have to win. It's going to have to be ugly every single time if they are able
to get a short field and then be able to score off that. Yeah, they have to be opportunistic. They have to do those kinds of things. But so yeah. Can you hear that? There are noises in my walls.
Yeah, I hear that. I was wondering, I was like, is that me? I'm not hearing
Sorry, everybody. No, there have been noises in my walls. I'm in the process of moving out of this godforsaken apartment, which is great. This will actually, by the time we do the podcast tomorrow night, I will be fully moved into my new house. But yeah, dude, it's getting weird. It's getting worse and worse in this building. Just random noises all the time. But nobody cares about that.
Bizarre.
Also, I think somebody's cooking meth upstairs. I can't prove it, but I think somebody's cooking meth upstairs. Just saying. I'm going to be happy to be out of this apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Washington, that's tough. That's a tough loss.
It is. Yeah.
You wonder, I mean, yeah, they had guys banged up, but you also wonder if the Jed Fish talk distracted them a little bit, the Jed Fish potentially. I don't think Jed Fish is going anywhere for what it's worth. But I know there's been a lot of speculation on it, and that could be something that makes a team lose focus a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, good for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You got it. Now maybe this momentum will carry you forward. Maybe you'll be able to get another win or two, and we'll see, down the line.
I mean, I hope not, but we'll see.
Yeah, of course.
They've still got to play Indiana, Illinois, and at Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So they will not be favorites in any of those games, but they weren't favorites against Washington either, and they managed to win.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see what they look like. I will say, like you said, the Wisconsin defense is a legit unit.
Yes, for sure.
And at first it was just the running defense, but now I think the secondary is not great, but it's gotten better.
Yeah, they've started to come together and gel. I think so too. And you've just seen some of the young guys step up and improve, and that's a big deal. So good for them.
All right, John. Well, in the next game, I'm not sure what you would have picked, but I didn't pick it correctly. We had the Rutgers Scarlet Knights 35, the Maryland Terrapins 20. And I just thought Rob Smith defense, Mike Locksley offense, expect Maryland to score a bajillion points. And yet they didn't. They had right off the bat, they had the long Malik Washington touchdown run early to make it 7-0. And then for the rest of the game, they managed just 13 points after that.
Yep.
Just 13 points. And it was close at half. It was 21, but I mean, Maryland was ahead in this game before blowing in the second quarter, going down 21-17 at half. And then, Rutgers took over. I mean, Maryland only scored 3 points in the second half, and it was in the fourth quarter after the game was decided, essentially. So Rutgers, give them a lot of credit, and it wasn't just Ethan Kaliakmanis. It was Antoine Raymond.
Insane.
41 carries, 240 yards.
Yeah.
240 yards, 6 yards per attempt, 1 TD, long of 34. I mean, that's ridiculous.
That's a monster of a game, dude. Yeah.
Monster game. I mean, Rutgers lined up and said, we're going to run right at you, Maryland. We don't think you can stop us. And they didn't. They didn't.
Dude, and Ethan looked great too, dude. He really had one of those games where, like, you were like, okay, like, there he is. There's the guy with all the potential that you
He did throw 2 picks.
He
played well. He played well.
Look, he's always going to have issues protecting the ball. He always has, always will. But, like, when he is on, dude, and he was at certain points in time in this game where you were like, Jesus, man, like, this is what I always wanted to see. And,
I mean, 229 yards on just 13 completions is a lot of yards per completed pass.
Yeah.
It was 11.5 yards per attempt even. So, like, when Rutgers throws it, they throw it downfield. And they do it successfully because they have, guys like Ian Strong and Sheffield and KJ Duff, and they all make plays. And then for Maryland, man, Malik Washington, just 98 yards passing on 28 attempts, 3.5 yards per attempt, 1 TD, 1 pick. And then he was the leading rusher because they couldn't get anyone else going sufficiently on the ground. Which was just not great. Mike Locksley just always gets outcoached, man.
It's true.
He just always gets outcoached. And it's like, I should have known better than to pick him in this game, but I just thought that Rob Smith was so bad that Locksley couldn't help but score 40 points. And it didn't happen.
I still think Rob Smith is that bad. It's just that
right.
I think.
But Mike Locksley didn't take advantage.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm not entirely sure Rob Smith is in control of this defense.
Oh no, it's Greg Schiano. At some point, Greg Schiano started calling the plays, right?
Yeah. Let's be real. Like I think Smith is probably going to get fired after the season, as he should,
or demoted. One of the two.
Yeah. And I think Schiano is. I see his fingerprints all over this game. Is what I see.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And they played better.
They did. Absolutely.
So good for Rutgers. Rutgers still has a chance to make a bowl game.
Yeah, they sure do.
If they can they're not going to go into the shoe and beat Ohio State. But
no.
If they could beat Penn State, they could go 6-6 and salvage a little bit of the season anyway.
Which, I mean, if they play the way they did this week, I think it's very possible to beat Penn State.
Absolutely. And so that's a home game too. So that plays in Rutgers' favor. Yeah. No, that was it's a good win for Rutgers, for the State College of New Jersey. Good for them. Yeah. All right, last up, we had the Nebraska Cornhuskers 28, the UCLA Bruins 21. Sorry, Nebraska 7-3 and UCLA 3-6. And John, I don't want to say there's a quarterback controversy in Lincoln, but TJ Lateef went 13 for 15, just 2 incompletions, 205 yards, almost 14 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. That's bonkers, dude. That is absolutely bonkers. Like, that's outrageous.
If there's
13
not
for 15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's not a quarterback
that's an
controversy, though,
87% of his
needs to be one.
completed 87% of his passes.
It's wild. Yeah.
I know it's a small sample size,
but still,
that's ridiculous. And then Emmett Johnson, man, 129 yards rushing, touchdown, 4.6 yards per attempt. He had a nice day, and TJ Lateef can move a little bit better than Dylan Raiola does. So he can extend plays a little better. And you notice UCLA had 0 sacks against Nebraska. When's the last time Raiola had a game where he had 0 sacks? Got sacked 0 times.
I don't know, but it feels like it's. I don't know when that was. I can't. It seems like
I don't know if it's happened.
Yeah.
First off, credit to Nebraska. Emmett Johnson, the offensive line played pretty well. They didn't get much from their receivers, but they were able to throw it to Emmett Johnson as well and run the ball. And TJ Lateef spread it around. And they had 3 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, two passes defended. So they showed up and they played. And it was, at one point this game was 28-14. And then UCLA scored a touchdown. You're like, oh, is that going to be, are they coming back? And it never felt like UCLA was going to come back to me watching this game. It felt like Nebraska. Once Nebraska went up 2 touchdowns, it felt like it was over.
Yeah, it did. I mean, again, kudos to UCLA for having fight, and they still do. They play really hard.
Yeah,
Nico especially he's still.
Nico was great, man.
Yeah, he's special, dude.
17 for 25 is pretty good. 2 touchdowns, no picks, and then he ran for 86 yards too. I mean, him running was their whole offense in the second half.
Yep,
that's all they could do. They couldn't get yards any other way.
Yeah, here's my thing. I mean, I have lots of questions pertaining to the Lateef and Raiola thing, and obviously, we've heard for years now this whole, baby Mahomes and whatever, Mahomes light, Timu Mahomes, Dollar Tree Mahomes, whatever. Which I've never been sold on him like being that great. I think he's a solid quarterback. I don't think he's bad.
I don't think he's an NFL All-Pro future guy. No, I don't think that.
I don't think so either, and I don't think he ever has been. I've never fully bought into the hype.
Yeah,
that's been surrounding him, which isn't entirely.
He's not mobile enough for the game the way it is now.
Yeah. So after seeing TJ Lateef. And yes, like you already said, it's a small sample size. But if this continues,
dude,
how much blame do you put on Matt Rule for not playing Lateef over Raiola? Because Raiola, to me, this season, even though yes, you have 7 wins, I get, and that's good. It's still a winning record, but could you be at 8 wins right now, maybe 9 if you had played Lateef over Raiola?
To be fair, they didn't have any tape on Lateef in a game that was geared around his strengths.
Very true.
So sometimes when a quarterback, because even him playing last week after Raiola went out, that was under the Raiola game plan. So they game planned the entire thing around TJ Lateef, and he delivered. Can he keep doing it now that teams have seen him do it? Because this happens in the NFL all the time, where a quarterback will come in and throw for 400 yards in his first and 4 touchdowns in his first start, and then by the second start they figured out all his tendencies and his tricks, and he's just very average by then.
Yep.
And it's just that they didn't know what he liked to do and how he processed and where he was likely going to go with the ball in different situations and stuff like that. And once they figure that stuff out, it's easier to play defense. So it's possible that was part of it. But if Lateef keeps it up for the rest of the year, though, I think, you have to have a serious conversation about, is Dylan Raiola the answer here? Or is Lateef a guy who needs to be playing?
Yeah. I mean, he made it look easy, dude. He really
did, man. It really looked easy. That offense has not looked that comfortable all year.
No, and Raiola just always looks like he's struggling to make. He'll make plays, but it doesn't look. He's
It
not
looks
doing it
hard.
with ease.
It
Yeah,
looks
it looks
hard.
hard. He's working real hard, and I've
Whereas,
always felt that way about Raiola. I've always felt like it always looks like he's working really hard to make plays, and
yeah.
I don't know, but you're right. Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot to see here, but as far as what this game though, yeah, he really stepped up and did a really good job. So, credit to the Huskers for that.
Yeah. Nebraska in an interesting spot here. They have at Penn State and versus Iowa. They will be decided underdogs in both of those games.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can win one of them, they get to 8 wins, then I think you can still sell this as an improved season.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, if they end up 7-5, I just don't think. I think 8-4, just considering they were 6-6 last year, 7-5 doesn't feel like a big improvement.
Yep.
But 8-4, that feels like you're making progress.
Which you and I picked them to go 8-4, by the way.
That is what we picked.
Let's remind Husker fans.
We said they were going to go 8-4 and they were going to lose in Minneapolis. And
yep,
how'd that work out?
Here you go.
Just saying.
So far we're on.
That said, the way Penn State's playing right now, that's not an easy game anymore.
No.
Not the way Penn State played yesterday. I don't think it's going to be easy for Nebraska to roll into State College and get it done.
Well, I think people, as much as like we saw, you saw Penn State's offense struggle, but I think that people forgot so quickly how good Penn State's defense has always been and how much talent is still there. It's still terrifying.
Yeah.
There's so much talent. And I think it's ridiculous for people, the national media, to like discount Penn State because they lost their quarterback, which I get to a point, but there's still a lot of talent on that roster, man. And if they are able to put it together, then they're still going to be a really good team. They're going to be tough out. So
absolutely.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Any other thoughts about it'll be interesting to see how long Denzel Boston's out for Washington, because that makes a big difference if he's out or not for them.
Jonah Coleman too, man.
Jonah Coleman too. I mean, they are 6-3. They are bowl eligible, but if they want to finish strong, they really need those guys back.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I said Jonah Coleman, but at the same time, even when he has been healthy, he hasn't been doing.
He hasn't been able to get anything going. They can't block for him.
No, that offensive line is problematic for sure. So,
yeah, the offensive line really held them back. I mean, against Wisconsin, that was the difference, that they just can't block anybody.
Yeah, well, this is the time of year where everybody's banged up. Every team is banged up. It's going to come down to coaching and who shows up. That's really what it is. So
who's done the best job of getting their backups ready to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And filling out their roster.
Things, crazy things. I mean, all year long, but like this is the time of year where some pretty, I guess, like crazy games can kind of come out, like we saw this last week. So with Wisconsin and Washington. So nobody saw that coming, but here it is.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man. Anything else?
All right. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Other than that, I think we're all good. So if you want to find We Live for Saturday, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Podcast Addict. You can find us on Twitter at We Live for B1G Sat. You can find Mike at Alibaba26. You can find me, John, at Norwegian Gopher. And you can email us, We Live for Saturday, B1G at gmail.com. Please follow, like, subscribe, especially here on YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. Tweet, retweet, all that things.
Yes, please subscribe to us on YouTube, even if you're audio only. And audio only listeners, I apologize again for having a couple episodes that didn't ever get to audio for whatever reason, but that's fixed now. So we should be good to go on that front. So yeah, it is Monday today, November 10th. We will be recording tomorrow the preview episode on November 11th, the day I like to call Armistice Day. So we'll be there tomorrow. So check that out. We're going to have Doug from the QB 11 show, big time Oregon fan and Big Ten expert, Doug, on to help us preview the games. So look for that. That'll be out tomorrow night on Tuesday. And other than that, thanks for listening. Have an awesome day, and we will see you tomorrow in the next one.